If I don't see you, remember, we're going to the movies on Saturday. I have the night off.
I'll try. You know how busy the office keeps me.
Peg, you work at the phone company. It ain't life and death.
Darling, you have no idea.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone, where we love talking about movies and more. I'm your host, Mason Phillips, and this is the next episode in my Road to Doomsday series. Today, we're talking about Agent Carter Season 1. This is a follow-up to Captain America, the First Avenger. I'm doing this series in chronological order, so the first episode was over the First Avenger. This is over Agent Carter Season 1. I think Agent Carter Season 1 is one of those projects that is easily overlooked by the fan community, by the MCU fan community, because it's not one of these Disney Plus shows. It wasn't Marvel Studios producing. It was Marvel Entertainment, but it was the first project in Marvel Entertainment, and the only one actually that was produced by Kevin Feige, that had involvement by Louis D'Esposito, by Joe Russo. The show was created by Marcus and McFeely, writers of the three Captain America movies starring Chris Evans. Of course, they wrote Thor: The Dark World, they wrote Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. So the series actually feels like it is largely connected to the MCU, even though it's not acknowledged in Disney Plus's timeline for the MCU. But that aside, this project, it was birthed out of that Marvel one-shot Agent Carter. And that was kind of a concept for what this show could be. That short was received pretty well, so they gave Haley Atwell her own series, and it does a great job of showing her life post Captain America. Who is Peggy Carter when she's not teamed up, when she's not aligned with Captain America? What does that look like for her? And it does a wonderful job of showing the trials and conflicts that she has with her peers. I mean, she's a woman working in a very male-dominant environment, and normally I think a story like this could be very heavy-handed and very forced, and I don't think would really work out, but it's very subtle in its messaging. Now, it doesn't really hit you over the head with that stuff, and it shows that Peggy Carter is a very competent and capable person. We already know that. We've seen that in Captain America, the First Avenger, so we know what this character can be, and it's not a show that talks down to its audience. It doesn't talk down to its male viewers. It doesn't talk down to any specific type of person who's going to be tuning into the show. It's just a good, entertaining show. It shows the hurdles that she has to overcome, that Peggy Carter has to overcome, but it does it in a way that's very nuanced, and it has a great message to tell. The message at the end of the day is about how you see yourself. Do you value yourself? Do you let the opinions of others dictate the way that you see yourself and the abilities and the qualities that you know that you are capable of? If you know you're capable of this stuff, it doesn't matter if anybody else thinks you are or thinks that you can do that thing. So it's a wonderful message that is actually taught through this entire show, and it's a show that's surrounded by a wonderful supporting cast. I'm going to start with James Darcy, who plays Edwin Jarvis, who has actually gotten to reappear. First reappearance was in Avengers Endgame, and he was in the What If series. He's going to come back in the Vision Quest series later this year, and he is a wonderful supporting character, and it was great to see this Jarvis character finally brought to life in a human personification in the MCU, and he has a wonderful relationship and I think a great chemistry with Peggy Carter. James Darcy has a great chemistry with Haley Atwell. It's so wonderful to see the two of them together. He provides great comedic relief, but he also provides great support for her. He's an interesting character unto himself. It was great to see Dominic Cooper come back in a few episodes here and there as Howard Stark. Of course, he's the primary character that the whole season is kind of revolving around. The investigation that the SSR is doing is revolving around Howard Stark. So it was great to see him pop up in this for a couple of episodes. Then we have the primary SSR team, Shea Wiggum, who portrays Chief Dooley, the chief of the SSR. I thought he was a wonderful addition to this cast. Chad Michael Murray as Jack Thompson, and then I'm sure I'm going to butcher his name. I think it's Enver Jokaj. I think it's how you say his name. But he plays Daniel Souza in this, who was kind of billed to be the new love interest to Peggy Carter. While I don't think they were able to fulfill that relationship with the two of them because the show was unfortunately canceled after a second season, I love the rapport and the relationship that they build in season 1. It's so earnest, and it's great to see Peggy move on from Steve and be able to establish a life unto herself. She's been mourning the loss of Steve Rogers since the events of the First Avenger, and at the end of the series we finally get to see her come to terms with Steve's passing, and she's really able to let him go and move on with her life. It's a great story and a great message about grief and how to handle grief, and what we do when the people that we love the most are no longer here. I love the show. I think it's vastly underrated, and it's a show that I definitely recommend all fans of the MCU go and check out, especially if you're a fan of Agent Carter and the Captain America series. Definitely go check out this show, specifically season 1, because season 1 of Agent Carter is one of the best products of any period within the MCU. It's just a wonderful, wonderful piece of entertainment. If I was going to give season 1 of Agent Carter a rating, I would give it a 4 out of 5 or a B+ on the letter scale. It's not a perfect show, but it's a very entertaining show, and I think it's a wonderful continuation of Captain America: The First Avenger. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen Agent Carter season 1, do yourself a favor and check the show out right now. If you've seen Agent Carter season 1, go down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this show. I would love to hear from you. Hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.